What's going on, everyone? My name is Iceman. Welcome back to Falcon 4.0 Allied Force. Welcome back to the training mission series where I go through all the training missions of the sim. We just finished mission 17, which was air-to-ground radar modes. So we basically learned about the air-to-ground radar on the F-16 and how that all works. Today we're going to do mission 18, which is CCRP, or Continuously Computed Release Point, with unguided bombs. So we are actually going to drop some unguided bombs in this mission. So we're going to drop some bombs and actually attack some targets using CCRP, or Continuously Computed Release Point. So without further ado, let's get started. So this training mission will discuss how to drop unguided bombs, also known as dumb bombs. They're called dumb because once you drop them, there's no way to control them. So they go dumb and they may or may not hit the target. Using the CCRP, or Continuously Computed Release Point bombing mode. CCRP is a, quote, blind bombing mode that is used in conjunction with the air-to-ground radar. CCRP is the primary mode used to bomb targets that are not visible due to weather or nighttime conditions. Another important use for CCRP is target queuing. CCRP has excellent head-up display steering cues and, when coupled with the air-to-ground radar, can be used to find targets that are beyond visual range. The pilot can then find a target on the radar and then drive in following the CCRP steering cues. Once the pilot's eyes are on the target, a visual bombing mode can be used. Target queuing is the reason that CCRP is used at the start of almost all F-16 air-to-ground attacks. Most F-16 bombing attacks start in CCRP, even though the bombs may actually be dropped in one of the other modes. The other use of CCRP is in pointing the laser targeting pod, which we will explore in a later training mission. Hell yeah. That's going to be fun. The CCRP bombing triangle. CCRP works in conjunction with the air-to-ground radar. The pilot finds a target on the radar, locks on, and then flies the HUD steering until the bomb is released. The air-to-ground radar cursors in CCRP provide the horizontal range to the target. The FCC, or Fire Control Computer, is used to calculate all bomb solutions. Since the FCC knows the system altitude of the jet, also known as SALT, Sierra Alpha Lima Tango, it's the SALT, or system altitude. It knows two sides of the bombing triangle, the vertical and horizontal component. The FCC then calculates the direct slant range, it's called slant range, or hypotenuse of the bombing triangle. Figure 18-1 below shows the CCRP bombing triangle. So this is figure 18-1. So you got time 1, time 2. Got pickle altitude. So pickle is when you actually press the button that releases the bombs. So your altitude to pickle is here, bomb path is here, system aim point is here, and target is here. So basically, what it's saying is, it's kind of complicated, but basically what it's saying is CCRP automatically calculates the time that the bombs should be released for the bomb to have the highest probability of hitting the target. In addition to the bombing triangle calculations, the FCC also factors in the characteristics of the bomb itself. For example, the Mk-82, pronounced Mark 82, general purpose bomb has both high drag and low drag versions. The FCC calculates the bomb range for each bomb type. All the pilot has to do is follow the HUD steering and consent to release. It is important to understand that in the CCRP mode, you do not hit the pickle button and watch the bomb drop off the jet. Instead, you consent to release the bomb by holding down the pickle button and drive in until the FCC calculates the correct release point. That's why it's called Continuously Computed Release Point. The FCC drops the bomb at this point with consent from you to press pickle button. So basically what that means is, in CCRP mode, when you press the pickle button to drop the bomb won't just drop. It won't just drop. You're consenting to release the bomb, but in CCRP mode, the bomb will only drop once the jet hits the point. So this here, the bomb will only drop when the system can calculate that you dropping the bomb will hit the target, basically. So you hold down the pickle button to say, hey, I consent to release, and then once the jet hits that point, whatever that is, hits the point where the FCC calculates, okay, the bomb will hit the target, then the bomb will drop. But you have to hold the pickle button to have consent to release so the bomb can actually drop off the jet. If you don't consent to release or hold the pickle button, then you'll just fly over the target, because although this FCC calculates and says, hey, the bomb can hit the target now, if you don't consent to release, the bomb will not drop. CCRP HUD symbology. Figure 18-2. Let me get a drink real quick. The CCRP mode has one major identifying feature: a long vertical steering line that runs from the top to the bottom of the HUD. This steering line, along with the TD or target designator box, provides the best air-to-ground target queuing of any F-16 bombing mode. Figure 18-2 shows the CCRP HUD symbology. So what they're talking about is this line here. This long line here. This long line is known as the ASO, or azimuth steering line. So in short, the goal is to put the azimuth steering line and in the middle of your flight path marker, or your flight path vector here, this here. So right now it's good, and you want to fly straight and level. And this is your target designator box here. So as long as you fly straight and level, and you continue on, and then at the same speed and everything, the bomb should, in theory, hit the target. Figure 18-3. If the target is in the HUD's field of view, a TD or target designator box will be over the target. If the target is outside the HUD's field of view, then a locator line will show the bearing and range to the target. Figure 18-3 shows a CCRP locator line pointing to a target that is outside the HUD's field of view. So the locator line is this line here from the gun cross right here. The locator line is this here, so it's saying the target is to the right, and kind of this direction, so it's kind of over here somewhere. Conversely here, you don't see a locator line because the target is right here. But if this TD or target designator box is, let's say, over here or over here, you will see this. Well, if it's to the right of the HUD, you'll see this, because it's, and the ASO is to the right as well, because it's saying, hey, the target is to the right, and you know, if you line up correctly, then you'll see this. But this locator line is saying the target is to the right. To arrive over the target, the pilot flies the HUD flight path marker over the vertical CCRP steering line, or the ASO. If the flight path marker is over the steering line, then you will fly directly over the target. So, along with steering cues to the target, CCRP also has a bomb loft and bomb release cues. As you approach the target, the FCC calculates the bomb release point and then displays a small horizontal tick mark at the top of the vertical steering line. So they're talking about is this bomb release cue right here, this little horizontal tick here. This release cue moves down the steering line toward the flight path marker. When the cue hits the flight path marker, a loft reticle appears, signaling that you are now on range to loft the bomb. After the reticle flashes, the release cue appears again at the top of the HUD. This time, when it drifts down and hits the flight path marker will flash and the bomb will release. Figure 18-4 shows the bomb release cue on the steering line. So figure 18-4 is here. So the bomb release cue is this line here. To repeat, the release cue will not even appear on the CCRP steering line until the FCC calculates that you can loft a bomb on the target. This means that when the FCC calculates that you are in range to loft the bomb to the target, the release cue appears for the first time. It marches down the vertical steering line, hits the flight path marker, and the loft reticle flashes. At this moment, you can go to 100% power and loft a bomb that will come off when the jet is in a 45-degree climb. I believe it's a little bit different than DCS, but so basically what that means is, so this reticle will hit this here first, and then it will flash, and when it flashes, then you can pull up to a 45-degree nose up attitude, and the bomb will release to loft the bomb after going 100% power. And if you don't do that, then the release cue will drop again. It will appear again and drop down. And once it's the flight path marker a second time, the flight path marker will flash and the bomb will release. So basically, it's giving you an option to loft the bomb first. And then if you decide not to loft the bomb, then it'll just release normally. That's figure 18-4 here. Right after the reticle flashes, the release cue is set to the top of the vertical steering line, and again start down to the flight path marker like I just said. When the release cue hits the flight path marker, the bomb will be released. Figure 18-5 shows the reticle that flashes in the HUD when you're in loft range. This is exactly how CCRP works in the F-16. Figure 18-5. So this is the loft cue, or whatever. This will flash. So when this drops and hits this here first, this will flash, and when it flashes this circle here, then you can go 100% power, pull up to a 45-degree, and you also have a DLZ here, just works like normal. You can pull a 45-degree, 100% power, and the bomb will drop and you'll loft the bomb. But yeah, this will flash, and if you don't decide to do this, then you will... Yeah, if you don't decide to do this, then the reticle will appear again, not the circle, but just this little horizontal line here, go down. Once it's flight path marker will flash, bomb will release like normal. I'll show you. Training mission overview. In this mission, you'll practice using the CCRP bombing mode to drop unguided bombs on a ground target. Hopefully it's a bridge or something. Initial conditions. Airspeed, 400 knots. Altitude, 7,000 feet above ground level and level. Throttle setting, mid-range. Configuration, gear up, 2 Mark 84s, 2 CBU-87s, and AIM-120s. The Mark 84s are 2,000-pound bombs. We'll do the CBU-87. We'll do the CBU-87s, so unguided bombs as well. Mission description. This mission, you will fly a CCRP attack on several targets. The first is a bridge that is 10 miles on your nose. You perform level and loft attacks on the bridge with Mark 84 GP or general purpose bombs. Okay, fine. We'll do Mark 84 then. Next, you attack moving targets on the road across the bridge using CBU-87s. The CBU is a canister munition, also called a cluster bomb. The canister opens at a predetermined height, releasing bomblets on the target. Since this type of weapon has a bigger footprint than a normal general purpose bomb, it is a better choice for destroying moving targets. It's a better area of effect weapon, basically. Step 1. Load training mission 18 bombs with CCRP from the training section. Step 2. Once the training mission starts, freeze the game by pressing Shift Popper on the keyboard so you can practice using the radar without having to fly the jet. Step 3. Call up the AG or air-to-ground master mode by pressing backspace on the keyboard or by pushing the A-G ICP or integrated control panel button. Make sure CCRP or continuously computed release point is selected in the right MFD or multifunction display. If CCRP is not selected below the second OSB or option select button, press the second button and choose CCRP from the list on the left hand side. When CCRP is displayed, the GM or ground map air-to-ground radar mode should appear in the left MFD. If GM is not up in the left MFD, press the left bracket key on the keyboard until FCR or fire control radar is selected in the left MFD. Then press F2 on the keyboard until GM or ground map appears at the top of the left MFD. Step 4. If the Mark 84 mnemonic is not present in the right MFD, press the OSB next to CB87B to bring up Mark 84 or M84. Step 5. Go to steer point 4 by pressing Sierra on the keyboard until steer point 4 appears in the DED or data entry display. Use the following steps to execute a CCRP level attack on the target. Step 6. When you look at the radar scope, notice that your radar cursors are very close to a small square on the scope. This is the bridge. It doesn't look like a bridge, but that's because the GM or ground map radar displays ground targets as radar returns, and since the bridge is a small radar target, it only appears as a small radar return on the scope. Step 7. Slew the radar cursors in the MFD or multifunction display over the bridge using up, down, left, and right on the keyboard. Since the radar cursors are tied to the selected steer point, and since steer point 4 is the bridge, the cursors will be close to the bridge when the mission starts. Step 8. Lock onto the bridge by pressing 0 on the numeric keypad. 9. Press Shift Pop to unfreeze simulation. I'm not going to do that. Figure 18-6. So it's basically showing the bridge and everything, okay? And what it should look like. Step 10. Fly the steering in the HUD by turning the jet to place the flight path marker directly on the vertical CCRP steering line. Figure 18-6 shows the flight path marker centered on the CCRP vertical steering line. So this is what you want. So the flight path marker centered on the vertical ASL azimuth steering line and in front of the target here. Step 11. Set the range scale to 20 miles by pressing F3 or F4 on the keyboard. Step 12. When the target gets inside of 5 miles, consent to release the bombs by holding down the pickle button, spacebar on the keyboard, or joystick button 2. Step 13. Drive straight for the target following the CCRP steering until the release cue descends down the vertical steering line to the flight path marker. Flight path marker will flash when the bomb is released. This next attack will be on the same target with the same weapon. This time, however, we will loft the bomb at the target. Notice that the first 5 steps are the same. Step 1. Slew the radar cursors in the MFD and multifunction display over the bridge using up, down, left, and right on the keyboard. Since the radar cursors are tied to the selected steer point, which is the bridge, the cursors will be close to the bridge when the mission starts. Step 2. Lock onto the bridge by pressing 0 on the numeric keypad. Step 3. Fly the steering in the HUD by turning to place the flight path marker directly on the vertical CCRP steering line, or ASO. Step 4. When the release cue appears, 2 seconds after the reticle flashes, push the throttle up to 4 afterburner by pressing Shift plus on the keyboard, or move your throttle on the joystick to 4 forward. Step 5. Then press and hold down the pickle button. Step 6. Start a 4 to 5G pull in the vertical and ease off the G just before the flight path marker reaches the release cue. Now just fly through the release cue at 1G. This technique will give you a more accurate bomb because you are not working the FCC so hard. Step 7. When the flight path marker flashes, roll to a 135-degree right or left bank and slice back away from the target. Figure 18-7 shows this maneuver. Figure 18-7. So you loft up, drop the bomb. Once the bomb drops, you turn left or right and kind of slice back over. You get out of there. Slice back after loft release. The next thing you should try in this training mission is using the GMT or ground moving target air-to-ground radar mode to lock onto moving targets and attack them using CBU 87s. Use the same procedures listed above for both level and loft deliveries. Before starting, switch the air-to-ground raster mode from GM to GMT by pressing F2 on the keyboard. Select CBU 87s by calling up the SMS or Storage Management System page on the MFD and multifunction display. When the SMS display is called up, press the button on the MFD next to the Mark 84 label to cycle you through all the loaded air-to-ground weapons. Press this button until CB87B appears. You are now ready to try both level and loft CBU attacks. Alright, so that's what we're doing here. CCRP, Unguided bomb release. So without further ado, let's start the sim and I'll show you how this is done in practice. Alright, we're in the sim now. Alright, we're good. So training. So we're doing bombs with CCRP. This is the most important air-to-ground bombing mode. It's used as a sub-mode in many of the other bombing modes. Alright, let's do it. Commit. Alright, let's check the briefing. F-16 Delta 52, nice. Munitions, alright. It's got 2 CBUs, 2 Mark 84s. Okay, I see. Alright. without further ado, guys, let's do it. Alright, so without further ado, let's do it, guys. So I'm going to show you how this works before we start dropping bombs. Okay. So we're good to go here. So let's do air to ground as we did before. So we're on steer point mode here. So it's already set to steer point. So so we have CCRP here, 2 Mark 84s, we're good here, okay? So we're already set and ready to go. We're ready to do this. So we can task designate if we want to mess up, and which we did, but we don't necessarily, I mean we technically do, but you can see here, if I zoom in here, so you can see you got the ASL, which is that long line, right? Now if I do the pickle button, nothing's gonna happen. Okay, nothing's happening because, and the reason nothing's happening is because that's not how CCRP works. Like, you can't just drop the bomb. The FCC has to calculate when to drop the bomb. So you see, if I turn to the right, if the task designated the target goes out of HUD view to view, you get that locator line up top there by the ground cross. And if we go to the left, you see the ASLs to the left as well. If we go back on target, you see the ASL goes inside the flight path marker, and we're pretty much good. See that? And if we go to the right, same thing. Right out of the HUD field of view, same thing. Okay. Now you see that. Well, now it's flashing, but okay. Let me. We kind of missed that there, but that's okay. Let's. You can see that if we just fly over the target, if we keep flying this way, and we fly over the target, the ASL, we fly over the target, the ASL will will go to the left or to the right, and we will fly over the target, literally. But like, we can't drop now. See, there we go. We just flew over the target. If we turn around, you can see we flew over the bridge. And we basically missed our chance to drop the bomb. And there's the bridge there. Okay. So let me restart this. Let me restart to make this easier. Alright, so air to ground, steer point, and then TMS up to designate, and then now I'm going to show you what happens when we go when we get that loft queue. Or the lofting queue, it's that circle, remember? So we don't see anything right now because we're not far enough away. Or we're not close enough, sorry. And also you can see here we're not 8.9 nautical miles away from the 8 nautical miles away from the steer point, 9 9.5 miles away from the target, from the Falcon 4 radar here. 50 seconds as of now, until we are able to drop the bomb. That's what the middle number is. There is the time to release. So we're gonna see, when we get a little bit closer, we're gonna see that line pop up, the not the locator line, but the release queue. It's gonna pop up at the top of the ASO, probably right up here somewhere. You'll see it pop up. It's that little horizontal line that we saw in the manual there. That should pop up soon. There it is. See? Now it's coming down. See that line there? Now it's coming down. When it hits the flight path marker, you'll get that circle. Okay? That circle flashing. It is a circle. Now it hit the flight path marker. Now it's flashing. Now if we go full power and 45 degrees, we would be able to loft the bomb. If we held the pickle button. But you can see now the line popped up again a second time. It's going down to the flight path marker right now, and when that horizontal line hits the flight path marker now, and we hold the pickle button, we'll drop the bomb. But we're not doing that right now. See, now it hit the flight path marker. If we were to have held the pickle button, we would have dropped the bomb on the target. Okay. So, and we just passed the target. Just pass the target again. There we go. Alright, so let's restart one more time and actually drop a bomb. I'm going to drop the Mark 84s here. Now the thing with CCRP is you can technically fly straight ahead if you're just, just doing the normal release. You can fly straight ahead and just stay there and like keep flying straight. You don't have to do that like slice back maneuver that we saw before when lofting the bomb. You don't necessarily need to do that when you're flying straight over the target, dropping the bomb. Okay. So let's do AG, steer point. Okay, 2 Mark 84s, we're good, we designated. Alright. So, we're good here. So we're going to drop the Mark 84s here. So, we're not going to do the lofting on this run. We're just going to do the regular release, okay? So let me zoom in so you can see everything in the hood. So we're not going to hold the pickle button when we first hit that horizontal bombing release queue hits the flight path marker the first time. We're not going to do that yet. We'll do it the second time though. Okay. Alright, so you want to stay the same altitude, level, and everything, and same speed if possible. Okay. Alright, so the release angle is heading down, or the release horizontal release queue is heading down, so we're going to hold the pickle button. When it hits the flight path marker, the bomb will drop. So in 8 seconds, 7, middle number, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bomb drop. Alright, there we go. Alright, bomb is away. We can just turn right just to see the BDA, battle damage assessment. Where is it? There it is. Bomb's going to drop. It's going to hit the target, hopefully. Yep, there we go. Beautiful. Perfect hit. So that's how you just release, you know, just with CCRP basically flying straight. And you can, and yeah, so that was a perfect hit. Bridge is damaged. That's interesting. We don't have weight and balance on this. Like, I'm flying fine, and like we just dropped a 2,000-pound bomb on the left wing, but not the right. Oh wow. Okay. All right. So let's restart and do it again. But do the loft this time. So yeah, let's do the loft. Alright, so AG, steer point. Okay, designate, there we go. So now we're doing the same thing, except the only difference is when that horizontal line hits the flight path marker the first time, we see that circle and it starts to flash, we're going to go full afterburner, hold the picker button, and go to 45 degrees release angle. And then we're going to do that slice back maneuver. And we're not going to bother with the moving targets because it's literally just the same thing. The only difference is the target's moving a little bit, but yeah, there's literally no difference really. Alright, so when the line pops up, goes down for the first time. Alright, there it is. Alright, so it's flashing. Alright, pick a button, full burn, 45 degrees. It's gonna hit the flight path marker and the bomb's gonna drop. Alright, slice back maneuver. So, full burn like this.
Altitude.
There we go, like that. Let's check PDA assessment. Zoom in. It's gonna hit. Probably not. Oh, it hit the target. Fuck yeah, dude. That was beautiful. That was a beautiful hit right there. Yeah, we hit the target directly. That was awesome. So that's how you do it, guys. That's how you do CCRP. It's not that hard, to be honest. It's a little tricky to get the terminology, to understand the terminology and what they mean by all the different like terms and stuff. But yeah, it's not that bad once you get the hang of it, you know. So I'm gonna undesignate, TMS down, and yeah, we hit the target. So yep, that was beautiful. Alright, so that's all for CCRP, guys. We're not going to do the ground moving target just because it's literally no different. Like, the only difference is if you want to do the ground moving target, just switch this, ground map, ground moving target, search for them, TMS up, designate, and then same process. Okay, same process. It's the same stuff. The only difference with what we just did here, and the ground where we target is the targets are moving. That's it. That's literally it. And, you know, switching the mode. That's literally it. We'll go back to ground map. Yep, so that's that, guys. We did it. The CBUs are the same thing. It's literally this. It's literally the same thing. there's no difference. Not really. It's very, very similar. Okay. So yeah, that's all for this part, guys. That's all for CCRP bombing with the training missions and stuff. Next up, I think, is CCIP, but we'll see. So yeah, that's all for this part, guys. If you'd like to smash that button, like a banner, leave a comment. I'll see you guys next time. Farewell.